Y quiero aprovechar también de hacerles una invitación a todos aquellos que están acá en Movistar Game Club de Mall Plaza Vespucio, que tomen asiento en las graderías, que tomen asiento acá frente a la pantalla, porque ha venido desde Canadá, desde muy lejos, un expositor que sin duda estamos muy contentos que haya viajado para venir a Epic Win 2025. Algunos de ustedes ya lo saben y estoy muy contenta de presentar con ustedes a Yves Bordeleau, CEO de Rogue Factor Studios. Un aplauso, por favor. Quiero comentarles que esto va a estar moderado por Maximiliano Kübler. Así que un fuerte aplauso, por favor.
All right. Can you hear me a little bit? Yeah? I'm going to switch to English because, of course, Yves understands better English than Spanish. So let me introduce to my friend, colleague, soulmate, metalhead friend for
almost 10 years.
So I give this pleasant welcome being here in Chile. It took us a while to bring you here, but finally you're here,
we
right?
made it.
We made it.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. So, Yves, welcome once
Thank
again. Big applause for you. Thank you, man.
Thank you. So I'm going to make a very short intro presentation here regarding the background of Rogue Factor. I'm going to showcase a little trailer of the game I'm working on right now and shipping next Monday. very close. So yeah, it's because I'm really good friends with Max that I'm here, and I wanted to explore Santiago for a long time because I was at Gamescom before coming here. I came back, took a shower, made some laundry, and back on the plane to come here.
Yeah.
So I will start by showing you a little bit of. If I can make this work. Hello. It's not working. I press click. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So, first of all, I have two jobs, I might say. My main job is I am the general manager and also executive producer at Rogue Factor, and we're making Hell Is Us. And also, a little bit like many of you here in the development community, I work as the vice president of the Guilde du Jeu Vidéo du Québec, which is the organization of all the video game development studios in Quebec, in the province of Quebec, in Canada. And that's me at my office. As you can see, similar to my friend Max here, I have, in a past life, I was in a metal band and I toured a lot. So I brought a little bit of, my old life in my office.
Yeah, make no mistake, Yves opened some big gigs, for Motorhead or Anthrax. He toured with In Flames, so yeah.
Yeah, I had a past life very nice in the metal scene. So if we look at the presentation again, fun facts like Rogue Factor was very small at one point. We started. I think there's a story behind it. We will chat about that story later on during the Q&A.
Exactly.
But we started with Games Workshop license. For 9 years, we did Games Workshop Warhammer license, so Mordheim, City of the Dam, and Necromunda. Around 20 devs for Mordheim, 30 devs for Necromunda. And then we moved to another dimension when my studio was acquired by Nacon, which is a big publisher, French-owned. They are publishing a game for Ace Team here, Chilean. So very cool collaboration. We've been working with Nacon since then. They really wanted us to create something extraordinary, something original, so they invested a lot into the development of our game. We started that game around 2019, and this is when one of my oldest buddy in the world, one of my best friend, JJB, Jonathan Jacques Beltête, joined us. JJB is kind of a big deal. He's kind of a legend. He was the executive art director on Deus Ex Human Revolution. Adam Jensen, and it's a big IP. So he worked there, he worked on that title at Eidos, worked also on Guardian of the Galaxy. And at that point, he was done with the art direction of Guardian of the Galaxy. He decided to say, okay, I had enough with Marvel. I want to do something new. It's when I said, hey, I have a new parent company. Do you want to join an adventure to create an original IP? He said, like, absolutely. He decided to come with me. So right now, we are around like 50, 60 people. During the average number of developer on Hell Is Us was 50 people. We moved up to 60 something, including HR and non-dev people. And yeah, we call ourselves Boutique Studio. Like boutique hotel. We will talk about that a little bit later on that concept. So I want to go fast because the Q&A I think is much more important than a grocery list. So I'm going to show you the trailer of Hell Is Us.
Yeah, please enjoy.
With sound, please. No sound? Por favor. Okay, there's no sound. That's not the right sound. Okay, I can. Oh, you got it. Here you go.
Whatever was happening here, I was now part of it.
This war is a blessing.
We failed to stop the calamity. How did you know your parents were still in Hadia?
I didn't. All I remembered was that my father was the village blacksmith. There, I felt a connection to this country, to Hadia.
Choose your next move wisely.
You pissed off the wrong people.
I want to piece together whatever is happening here, and you want to stop it.
It became my burden.
Look at you, compromised by your emotions.
I won't stop.
Interesting. Let's continue.
Hell yeah, Hell Is Us. Awesome. Awesome trailer, man.
Thanks, mate. Whenever I look at that trailer, I'm like, we're only 50 people doing that. It's quite an ordeal, but when you work hard and you believe in your project, anything is possible. So yeah, let's start the Q&A.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pass the puck to you.
I believe that we reunite a lot of questions that I assume you will like to enjoy. So, Yves, what got you in this industry? Tell me about your background and how you made the jump.
Okay, so long story short, because it's a long one, but I will tell you the interesting tidbit. This will make me feel old. So back in the early 2000s, in another world, I was a touring musician. I was being, in a band, play guitar and stuff. I was not living the most wealthy life, but it was very fun. And at one point, I had the person that did the artwork for my albums reach out to me and said, like, hey, I'm working with a video game studio. And back then in Montreal, we only had Ubisoft and a few other studios. He said, like, I'm working for Vercom, and we need someone to make music for the game. And you are making, like, really cool music. You play synths, you play guitar, you play bass. are you interested to do that? I was like, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to get paid to make music, for video games. Dream job. So it was a dream. And I started working on that. And after a year and a half, sadly, the company that hired me went belly up. It went bankrupt. It was a French company that I won't mention, but we were facing a challenge, me and my friends at that company, so we needed to find another job, and the possibilities, like not a lot of companies were in Montreal. So we said, why don't we try to create a studio? And I might say, that was in 2002, something like that. Indie was not a word. It was not something that existed. We were called 6 crazy guys in a basement. Okay?
You can imagine an era without Steam on PC, that everything wasn't online, so everything was on CDs only.
Yeah.
That kind of situation, right?
Exactly. That was crazy.
So, what were the first game that you worked on?
Okay, so in that company called Wicked Studios, when we started that, the first game was called Keepsake. It was a point-and-click adventure, classic point-and-click. It was very well received. We shipped that in 12 different languages, many different countries. Everything retail, no download, nothing, no online. It was quite an ordeal, but we succeeded. It was very successful. We made a lot of money. Everybody was like, how is this possible? Because in Montreal, there were only like Ubisoft and like Prince of Persia at that time or something like that. And they were like, how is it possible? It was almost a revelation. So I was on TV, I was in all the newspaper, everybody was going crazy at that time. It was the kickoff of that company. And then we worked with Nintendo on Nintendo DS title called Dawn of Heroes. It was a great time to be alive, and it was, shopping different publishers in different countries. Quite awesome.
So at that time, you miss having to sell your games to many different publishers?
No. I don't miss that. It was interesting. It was fascinating to travel a lot. I was in my early 20s, traveling the world, just trying to find publishers and stuff. But it was a lot of work, and it was complicated. Now with Steam or with other digital platform, it's easier. And especially now with Nikon, I sleep really nice at night because I don't have to find a publisher.
So for every single deal that you close, it was country-wise for each platform,
Exactly.
regionally only.
Yes.
So you needed to tour instead with your band.
It was for the game.
For the games.
So I changed one thing for another, basically. I had to go to France. I went to Italy. I went all over the world to have publishing deals. And back then, with adventure games, it was you had to have voice actors actually doing the voices. So that game back in the days was translated and voiced in French, in German, Italian, Spanish, and today there are not a lot of games that do all those voices.
Yeah.
Even Hell Is Us, we have French and English voiceover, but not the other language.
Yeah,
so
everything is with subtitles.
Yeah, subtitles. Yeah.
And tell me about how Rock Factor was born.
Okay, so that's a cool story. When I started, I had my company Wicked Studios, and then I became a consultant for a while. I worked with Cyanide for a while too. And at one point, I will spare the details, but at one point, I really wanted to do my own thing, my dream project at that moment. And I gather up my old friends that from Wicked Studios actually, and we decided to do something we're passionate about. We love Games Workshop and Warhammer, and I was like, okay, let's find a tabletop game from the Warhammer roster that would be great in video game medium. So we decided to pick Mordheim City of the Dam. We thought it was a great board game, and we did a prototype. I succeeded to have cash to make a prototype for 4 months. It was on Unity back then, good old Unity. and we did that. And we went to Gamescom. I went to Gamescom and I met with the big on shows. At,
So big bosses
the
from
big
Games
bosses
Workshop.
from Games Workshop, John Gillard, Andy Jones, like the big ones. Andy Jones actually was one of the creator of the Warhammer game, you know? And I was with Sony as well in that meeting, and I pitched the game. But there was one problem.
What was that?
I never had the license or the authorization to do it.
So you never asked for permission?
No.
At all?
No, I was so sure of myself that I say, they will just love it. It will be perfect. So we do the meeting, I do the presentation, everybody looks at the thing, and at the end I remember, and I will remember forever, John Gillard is there and he's like, that was bold and reckless. And he looks at me like that, and I'm like, fuck. And after he said, but I love it. I love that. I was like, whew, okay, I won't die tonight. And this is the way that Rogue Factor was born, through that pitch, and we successfully signed this. We had Focus that was there as well that decided to publish and finance the game. So I think it's that's why we're called Rogue Factor. We do things differently.
So can you give me some details on how it was working with Games Workshop?
Yeah, absolutely. Games Workshop was, I think, one of the most amazing experience in terms of learning how to work with an IP owner, because Games Workshop, it's not only a company, it's a religion. When you go to Nottingham at Warhammer World, at Games, like, it's insane. It's like to get in the building, you need to do security check like at the airport. It's just crazy. And working with them, with their licensing team, with the creative teams, these guys are legends. They are like people that basically invented RPGs or like good old pen and paper things. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
With their games.
The tabletop, it's like the legends. Yeah. And it was very humbling to work with these guys. It was really, really interesting, and I learned a lot about how to respect an IP, how to deal with an intellectual property owner to submit, reporting or gates to know if the game is fine.
Or even approvals, I can imagine.
Approval is very hard. And I was lucky for one thing. My art director at that time, Guy Englen, who is still working with me today, he was one of the founders of my first company. That guy is a Warhammer legend and encyclopedia. He's a living encyclopedia. He sculpt a miniature, he paint them, he wins prizes and stuff. He knows all the rules. So I had like an internal specialist, guru of Warhammer. So he made things really easier, and it was one of the key factors that we could make games with Warhammer, with Games Workshop for 9 years.
So firstly, you made Mordheim, and then you made Necromunda.
Exactly,
That was
two different worlds, two different games, and I think both were very enriching experience. The studio grew up. Necromunda was shipped during COVID. Like, it was a little bit of a hard time to say, but we learned to ship a game remotely on all platforms. That was a big learning experience as well, you can imagine. But yeah, it was quite a good experience.
You mentioned to me that at this specific moment in time, just after the release of Necromunda, your studio got bought.
Exactly, by Nacon.
At the same time, by Nacon.
Yeah, so it was a very strange mood, because just to put you guys in context, we were working with Focus, a publisher, a French publisher, and we got bought by Nacon, another French publisher, who are competitors. And we were just like, okay, what can I do? I'm stuck in the middle, and I need to negotiate with both. It was really, really hard. But we went through, and we shipped the game, and now we're working fully with Nacon, and everything is fine.
Awesome. Tell me how you guys started to work on Helisas, an original IP, of course. Quite a change after 9 years of working with other IP holders.
Absolutely. So, like I said, my friend Jonathan Everybody called him JJB. When he joined Rogue Factor, it was on the specific purpose to do an original IP. So we had in mind the concept of the game. We had in mind like the high level, I mean, and we started to work on developing the IP. It's a slow start, you know, because we had to create a new world, and it's a big one, and you know, it was a lot of hard work and very different than working with Games Workshop. Because Games Workshop, we had all the Bibles, we had, you know, all the material about the universe. So we created stuff around it, but the core was there. So it was very different to, you know, creating the world, the lore, the characters. It was a big change. So we had to change processes inside the company.
Are you still building this IP?
Well, we're still, obviously, I might say yes. I can't say where it will go after the game will ship. I'm very hopeful that it will be a success. But we have enough material to do like dozens of games. It's so big, the lore we created. It's insanely good, and I think it will have a big reach. But yeah, it's working on that. It was a dream after 9 years of Games Workshop, and we're in it right now. And yeah, we'll see next week how it goes.
Sure thing.
Okay, so how we've done it, so just to repeat the question, when you start a new IP, where do you start? So we started basically with a whiteboard, 2 friends in a room, just throwing ideas, general concept. So we said, like, we want to do something that would be like more exploration, like a real adventure.
And obviously the mood in between, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If it is a darker mood or serious one.
Exactly. So we really defined the high-level themes, the high-level gameplay pillars, and then we fleshed out the universe. That's pretty much, in a nutshell, that's pretty much how we've done it. We start very small. Me and him first, and then we added Mathieu, our writer, then our game director, and but when you design the concept of a game, I think that we call this like the war room period. It's not more than 7-8 people, and you do that for like 3-4 months, let's say, and you really gather all the brain power, and then sometimes you have like guests, special guests. So we invite like the animation director to come and to do special meetings and stuff. But yeah, mostly it's a small, tightly knit group of people throwing ideas, junking ideas, and in the end we have something that is cool. I think.
So I believe you started as an indie developer,
yeah.
You know, from start.
Yeah.
And you previously mentioned that Rock Factor has this kind of boutique studio vibe. Can you explain a little bit more what it is?
So we use the term boutique studio from actually it was used a lot with hotels. Boutique. Let's put it in context. You have a big hotel like a Marriott or Hilton, okay? But beside it, you have a really cool, smaller hotel with a very nice lobby, like really stylish. So we wanted to go to something that is more like craftsmanship, that is more like I can describe us like we are, I don't know, like blacksmiths. Making swords and stuff,
exactly.
You know, like
you're forging the katanas
exactly.
in your own craftsmanship.
Yeah, exactly. So it's small, but it's really high quality, different. We wanted to do something that was very different from everything that was made in Montreal. Because I don't know if you guys know, but in Montreal, it's just insane the amount of games that were made in the last 20 years. My friend Pat Desilets made Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Watch Dogs, Batman, like so many big IPs were made in Montreal that we wanted to do something different. Mm-hmm. And we said, okay, let's do something smaller, beautiful, and really like a craftsmanship, an art form.
So it's a never-ending like circle to maintain and keeping the IP moving forward in those terms, you know?
Exactly. We don't like, we will scale a little bit. Right now, like I said, we're around 60 people. I think for the next project, we will scale maybe to 100 people, something like that. But I don't want to, have a success and grow to 500. I want my company to stay small, nimble, very senior level. Yeah, we're just like the Avengers or something like that.
So you also,
Very good question. At Rogue Factor, I will say that I'm extremely proud that we have no contractors. We do everything in-house. I have my own mocap studio, I have my own recording studio, my own recording room, my own mixing room. I have my own composer that do all the music, and I'm gonna just, like, we do everything except like the marketing and QA, because we need a lot of QA. This is what is done outside. Localization, I might say. But
Yeah.
we record all the actors in-house as well. We do everything in-house. Something fun about the music. So we have our own internal composer, Stéphane Primo. And that guy has been making music for me since 2007. And there's a story behind it. And it's a really, really cool one. I used to tour with that guy. He had a band called Unexpect, and I was touring with my band. And when I was starting my first indie studio, Wicked Studios, at one point I could not do the music and managing the company and doing many things. I said, I need someone to make the music. So I said, oh, wow, that guy was a genius. He was a keyboard player, genius. He toured with like Dream Theater and opened up for Iron Maiden. That guy is just insane. And I was just like, I'm gonna ask him. I said, like, what do you do for a living? He said, I work in a garage. I was like, what? You work in a garage? Okay. I asked him, how much are you paid? And he tells me, I'm like, what if I pay you the same as the garage work, but you will do music all day long? He's like, where do I sign? And we started working like that, and he's still doing music for my company. So a long time running. So yeah, just to answer, finally to answer your question, we do most things in-house.
one thing that I didn't ask you is how a musician with your background transformed suddenly, I don't know, to run a studio, a first studio, an indie one.
Okay, so I think there are many things. When I was, touring and doing music, and even at the start of Wicked Studios, I was studying in business administration, basically project management. So I had the academic background, but I might say that for many years I was managing the band, my band. I was doing the deals, I was dealing with record labels, I was doing stuff. And managing a band is a little bit the same as managing a video game studio. And I will make a parallel, like, the creative director is the singer. The bass players are like the technical artists. The drummer is like the coder of the game, like the layout. So there's a lot of different parallels between like actual musician and jobs in the video game industry. And the biggest thing, you manage egos, a lot of egos.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's I might say that's the similarity.
So now you are also vice president of the Video Game Guild in Quebec. Can you tell me more about this role, your role there, and the organization?
Yes, absolutely. So similar to, you have a similar organization here in Chile that you presented earlier.
Yeah.
Wonderful presentation. And yes, I have been on the board of the Guild for the last 5 years, and now it's 2 years as the vice president. That organization is pretty much doing the same as you guys here. So we want to support the developers, the studios. I'm doing a lot of lobbying with the government because, hey, government needs to help video game. We need tax credits. We need financial means. I think it's completely crazy that the movie industry have a lot of money and not the video game industry, because we are making way more money than them now. We need to show the world that video game is making a lot of money. So I decided to do a lot of lobbying regarding that. I have good friends in big companies like Epic, like NVIDIA, and so I bring them to Montreal. So it's all about making relationship on that side, but also because I want to give back. I mentor a lot of smaller studios in Montreal. We have wonderful indie studios, and I want to give them the best chance they can to start, a good business, to put their game on the market and things like that. So it's my way to say, like, hey, I pass the ball to the new generation
Yeah, exactly. I believe we have some kind of similarities, you know. It's about the scope of Montreal and
Yeah.
the industry state that it is at the moment in Chile.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, you know.
I have high
we're
hopes.
getting there.
I have really high hopes. You have wonderful games, wonderful. Like I've been, chatting with a few developers today, and I knew Ace Team because Nacon is publishing a game for Ace Team for a while now.
Yeah.
And The Mound is a new game, and I played it. I was lucky to play it.
Cool.
And
it will coming out next year. I
yeah,
guess,
exactly,
huh?
exactly. So super excited about that.
So now tell me more about Helizas. Can you dive into the game? What's the story about?
Okay, so Hell is Us is, first of all, it's a very mature game. It's 17 plus. We tackle very, very dark themes, hard stuff like civil war, like how human emotions can suddenly change in a very disastrous way. Like, it's possible for a person to befriend with someone and because something happened, become enemies, We saw that like in Kosovo. We saw that like there's a lot in many civil wars. It's crazy. And right now in Ukraine, and we really, we are in the game takes place in a fictional country that would be, let's say, in Eastern Europe right now. But we decided to invent like a specific country. So, and there's a civil war there. It's a hermit state, basically, where it takes place. Just imagine North Korea, pretty much, in Eastern Europe. So it's really weird. You cannot get in or get out. It's like really, really isolated. But the thing is, Remy, our hero, he was smuggled out when he was a kid by his parents, and he ended up in Canada, in Montreal. And at some point, he grew up and he decided, like, he wanted to know his roots. Why? What's happening there? He wants to find his parents. So he ended up enrolling in the peacekeepers. Okay, UN peacekeepers. So his chance was to get there, like in the news, he was seeing that there was a civil war there, a blockade, and he said, like, okay, I'm gonna go, peacekeeper, get transferred there, and I'm gonna find a way to enter the country. So basically, on a starless night, he just went AWOL and he smuggled himself in the country. So the game starts exactly at that moment, and when you start the game, you know exactly the same thing as Remy does. Nothing else. Nothing like one-to-one.
So this makes like about a gameplay thing.
Yeah.
Huh? So you entered to this world, but not knowing that much.
No. So what we wanted with Hell is Us is to regain the absolute joy of exploration. So nowadays, like when you play a game, you have objective markers, a map where you have like pretty much all the things you need to do, the grocery list. You have the sub-quest, everything is written. Basically, you can just close your eyes and follow like the wire, and you will succeed at doing the quest. It's like that, it was made like that. I call it the Ubisoft recipe. It works, it's fine, it's fine. But we wanted to do something different. We wanted to bring back the joy that we had when playing, I don't know, like Legend of Zelda or something, the first one where you don't have a map, you need to chat with people, you need to take notes. Hell is Us is about that. It's about you discover stuff. You have the joy of saying like, my God, I figured that out. That's so cool. I'm using a compass. I'm asking someone like, hey, I need to go to that inn. Okay, you need to, when you see like that big tree with like chimes on it, turn right. So you need to listen to people. You need to really be aware of your surrounding. And that's the exploration part that we have in Hell is Us. And also we wanted to have some kind of action. So we decided to go more like third-person melee combat, a little bit like Dark Souls-like games, but more mid-core. It's not as hard. It's like more mid-core, more approachable, and we have difficulty settings, accessibility settings that people can tailor the experience. If you're really good at Souls-like, you put it at hard, you're gonna have a good time. If you hate Souls game, put it at easy. It will be a breeze. You will one-shot everyone. So it's perfect for everyone, so you can enjoy the adventure.
And in terms of our average hour gameplay, I believe that it has a huge amount of hours inside the game,
Maybe
right?
when we scoped the game, when we designed it, it was like, well, we're gonna make like a 15-hour, main quest, whatever. So almost 5 years later, the main quest is around 25 to 30 hours, and if you do all the secrets and stuff, it's around like 45 to 50 hours. So it's a big game.
Man,
Go ahead. Oh.
And just for all the people here, and how about the planning in terms of timing? Okay, you plan 15 hours in gameplay, and I don't know, you try to invest in 5, 10 million. I don't know. I don't get the things, but in the time the finance goes in some ways and the production goes in other ways. So how you handle that in a this big production like this?
I think it was incremental in a way that at first the game was supposed to be smaller. With our parent company, with Nacon, we aimed at around that 15 hours. But the more we were developing the game, the more we're like, okay, it's taking place, there's a lot of creativity going on, and Nacon liked it. So we got, like, at 2 points during the project, we got extensions to make the game better and flesh it out better. So that's a little bit why we kind of like grew from 15 hours to like 35 hours for the main quest, But in production, you need to be nimble. Like our approach is iterative anyways, so we kind of like adjusted as when we kind of progress in the game development. Like we knew like the end of the game, we knew like some key points during the story, but it's how it fleshed out with like side quests and stuff that it became way bigger. Oh.
I see. I don't. But you have a delivery time to accomplish, or yes? And fortunately, probably Nacon said, okay, the creative is good. Go ahead, and you don't have to rush. On how you handle the anxiety of launching and stay and working the creativity because in some part you can be creative and with no end,
Exactly.
So how you manage that?
I had to say no many times. Like especially with Jonathan, John is, creative directors. They are like, woo.
Yeah.
I have to say like, stop.
It's the
Stop.
Pandora box,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to stop. Okay, we need to make this smaller. Like take a big idea and make it smaller. Sometimes that's the way I contained, the costs and the amount of time needed. Sometimes we had to cut features. Like we designed too big and we said, okay, we're going to cut features. Sadly, but life is like that. Because the budget, like I said, the budget grew as we were progressing, but at the same time, you need to keep track, or else it's going to be a forever project,
Yeah, and even during the process, right? You changed from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5
Exactly,
engine.
we changed engine as well during the process, so that was a big
last
thing.
question, yes, everybody else. So in that creativity process and probably you're going, okay, 15 hours, and that budget of cost, go with Nacon, hey, we have this more creativity, you increase the budget, but also what about the revenue? That you say, you're handling that, okay, we'll have 10 more hours, but so these 10 hours will increase probably 500K player base.
Yep.
How you manage and how you calculate, how you forecast that in terms of how much creativity can you place on in terms of budget?
So the return of investment and the P&L, I was considering this like all along. I was making scenarios with Nacon, like, okay, if we do this, the scope will be that, the reach will be that. So it was very metric oriented, like I had references for many different projects that were similar in different sizes. So that's how I approached it. But at the same time, being honest, like when we started, we never thought it would be 15 hours. In our heads, we're like, oh, it's gonna be like 30 hours, but we will just go with the flow, It's a little bit, and then we go and they're like, I'm sorry, but can we have 6 more months? Can we have we kind of played that, that little game in a way. But Nacon's basically they knew they were seeing this and it was like, okay, yeah, they need more time. But they saw like the gates were showing the quality of the game, If the quality was not good, they would have said no. But yeah, lucky for us, I might say, things were progressing nicely.
I believe that for Nacon has become also a big thing for them, you know, this title.
Right now, we are the biggest title they ever had.
So
we have, I'm going to throw like a little bit of perspective, but in terms of wish list, in terms of views, like individual views of videos through TikTok, YouTube, and stuff, right now we have reached 100 million views, like across all major platforms. And same thing with wish list. We are over a million wish lists. So it's very, very, very successful in terms of reach. We had like really good streamers, really good influencers, talking about the game. So it was a great move for them. It was a risky move, but in the end, I think it was a great move.
Great.
And we'll see next week.
Yeah, exactly. On Monday, right?
On Monday is the early unlock and the full game after, yeah.
So we will continue with the questions from the audience, but we have any final words for the audience, Yves?
Yes. Final word. I don't know if you guys are in the industry or if you're students or I know it's been tough lately. Lots of layoffs, lots of crazy shit happening, studios closing. Don't worry, it's a cycle. I've seen a crisis like that a long time ago. It happened, we recovered as an industry, we'll be fine. It's just that it still need a little bit of tweaks, but I think 2026 will be a good year. Investment will come back, projects will come back, we will sign bigger deals. Like at Nacon, as a publisher, we will sign more games. It's just a matter of recovering from that weird, that weird time. So if you're in the industry, just be patient, continue to be creative, be passionate about your games, and never give up.
Awesome. Thank you, Yves. Thanks, Yves.
Sí, ahí sí. No se preocupen, que veo que todos están interesados en hacerles preguntas a Yves. Eso sí, lo que pueden hacer es preguntar en español y Max va a hacer la interpretación de su pregunta para que Yves pueda responder. Así que comenzamos con la primera pregunta.
No.
Hello? Ahí sí?
Ahí sí.
Okay, so thank you for sharing your experience. So my name is Hernan. So I have a tricky question for you based on artificial intelligence, but not based on building and designing the game. I will say maybe related to the experience that we can have in the future. Because Xbox, for example, and Microsoft are thinking that to have a copilot that could guide you into the game, or maybe that copilot can feel your sense, your behaviors inside the game, that maybe the game could create a new word just to decrease maybe you're anxious or something. So I would like to just know about your thoughts, but not about designing, because we know that it's a difficult answer, but maybe about experience in a specific.
Okay, that's a very, very current subject. To put you in context, at the Guild, I am a member of a group that we actually analyze and study AI in gaming, both to create them and both inside the game. So I can actually tackle both sides if you want. On building the game, I think AI is already a wonderful tool to iterate ideas, and that's fine. It's not something to put in the end product. It's something to help you brainstorm. It's something to help you put ideas, concepts, whatever. AI is also something that will enable a smaller team, like a team of 20 people, to have more firepower to make bigger games. And at Rogue Factor right now, we are working on a new game, and we are using AI to create a faster base mesh for our characters, and it goes so fast. We basically save per character model, we save 2 days of work. So it's huge. But it's not to create the end product. It's just to help the creative process. And yes, that's my take on the production side. On the other side, like you said, I think there are huge possibilities, especially at runtime for NPCs. Like you don't write the script, you create an AI for the NPC, and the behavior of the NPC will be according to what you did in the game. You will have an actual conversation with the NPC. It will make sense, and it will be very, very lively. So I think this is the type of thing that AI will bring in the next current, the next gen game. I think it will be there. There are a few other things that can be used with AI at runtime, like lip syncing, for instance. So the lip sync can change real time according to the voiceover that you will decide to play with. Like in Hell Is Us, we did the lip sync for French and English. But let's say we do with AI Spanish voice.
The other one.
All the other ones. This will cut the cost so much. It will be incredible. Also for different actors, like there's 11 Labs. It's a big company that do voice technology with AI. So basically, you will buy a voice print of an actor, and the actor won't have to do the lines. It will be like a performer, whatever, that can do all the lines in your game, and you will tag the voice prints of all the actors that you want, and then you can modulate emotions and stuff. It will be crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of possibility on that. I'm not afraid that AI will destroy creativity because a lot of people are afraid of that. People are afraid that AI will steal our jobs. I might say not now. Maybe later, but not now. Okay, so no worries for now. I think it will just give smaller teams more firepower to do greater things.
Genial, vamos con la siguiente pregunta.
Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to see here that you had to transition from Unreal 4 to 5.
Yes.
Because I find it crazy that the amount of updates they post up.
Yeah, they do.
How have you handled that transition, and especially with all the updates? Have you established on one of the many Unreal Engine 5 updates, and how do you use the technology of Unreal 5? Like the new technologies that are very cool and sexy,
Yeah.
like Nanite and Lumen, or that stuff.
So first of all, I'm not a technical guy, so I'm going to give more of a generic answer. Yes. Next question. Okay. So first of all, how we navigate with that? I am lucky enough to be really good friends with Epic at Rally in the States. So I have a direct line of communication with these guys for a long time. I introduced them to Max 9 years ago. So we have a direct line. So for us, like we have all the mentorship, everything needed, so we're lucky for that. But also, I think I have really good engineers at Rogue Factor. They are curious, and yes, we use Nanite, we use Lumen, we use it to have really good results. We're really happy with how we can do wonderful things with Unreal, with the small team that we have. The only drawback with Nanite and Lumen, for instance, is that we are right now trying to port the game on Switch 2, and it's tough.
It doesn't
So
support
it's you have limitation in terms of power. It's really greedy, especially 5.5. 5.6 supposedly it will be way better, but finger crossed. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I believe that you cannot go for the ultimate version of the engine.
No, always.
You need to have kind of pace and see the response of the performance of the engine, and then see if it is a good option to shift from one version to the other.
Exactly, and also one of the drawbacks is that we use, for instance, Audio Kinetic Wise for sound, and they are always behind one version. So we cannot go to the brand new version because of that, because we need to have all our middleware that are plugged in to work properly, basically.
Vamos a ir con la siguiente pregunta que me parece que está por allá.
Allá hay otra.
No, pero aquí estamos ya con orden.
1, 2, 3, yeah. Hi.
Hello.
First of all, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us in this spaghetti of a country. I wanted to ask you a bit of a weird question about what kind of advice would you like to share with us in terms of working with an existing and well-known IP? For example, I don't know, Marvel.
Yep. Okay. First of all, you must be really in love with that IP. Like, don't try to work for a Spider-Man, IP, whatever, like, if you don't like it. Like, if it's an opportunity and whatever, like, don't do it. You need to have champions in your company that knows the IP. Because you will need to build a relationship with the IP owner, okay? So my best advice is first, be in love with the IP, get very, I might say, become friends with the IP owner, build a relationship. It's all about relationship in video game, huh?
Yeah.
In every industry, but especially with IP owners. Like for me, when I work with Games Workshop, I had to build a relationship. I went to Nottingham many times. I drank beer with all the big on shows, and that way things are easier. When you're beer friends,
You were part
it's
of
better
the gang.
business.
Yeah, of course.
That's the way. That's the Japanese way.
Beer
also.
helps so much.
It's the best thing. And but yeah. So first advice: know the IP, be passionate about the IP, show the IP owner that you respect the IP.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. And then you build a relationship, and you'll be fine.
Cool.
Siguiente pregunta. Me parece que teníamos un amigo de Gris. Quería preguntar, dicen acá.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, thank you first. And my question is, what's your advice for someone who wants to work in Canada or in Europe as a game developer? How someone can postulate for a job in a game studio already?
Okay. That's a tricky question. I will answer about Canada, because Europe, I don't know the legislation and stuff, but to come work, for instance, in Canada or in Quebec, my province, you need work visas and stuff. Huh? So you need to approach the company that you want to work for. You need to, it's like any job interview, you need to apply. For instance, if you're a character artist, you need to have a portfolio that fits with the art direction that the company you want to apply for. You need to kind of like package, what you want to do. You need to, do a proper interview and stuff. And then sadly, it's about paperwork. In Canada, you need to apply for a visa, temporary work visa. And there are not many roads actually. In Canada, there's one way you can have like a 2 years work/vacation permit. And then you can go there and you can be working or not, and you don't have like a fixed visa with the company. So that's one way. And the other way is to have an actual visa for one specific company with a specific amount of time on it. It's not easy. In all truth, I'm a brutally honest person here. It's super hard to get in, especially since we changed government in Canada recently. It's harder than it was before. So if I speak honestly, brace yourself. Be patient, do the paperwork, and pray.
I will also add something, because it's more about doing the reverse engineering of yourself, of what would you like to do in your
Exactly.
life
Yeah.
as a purpose.
Yeah.
So what will be your next step of upgrading your own skills, and decide yourself what type of company you would like to work on. So it depends most on your side, to level up your skills instead of finding
100%. Like
the other way around. Yeah.
You're totally right. Like if you are a huge Blizzard fan, for instance, you want to work on Diablo, I don't know, just do the work to be the best, I don't know, character artist in that specific style. That's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Vamos a ir con la siguiente pregunta. Ojo que acá tenemos un par, pero antes quisiera mencionar, it sounded like he was asking more like if they have an internship in Rogue Factor Studios. Vamos con la siguiente pregunta.
Is this on?
It is.
Oh, okay. Hi, thank you, first of all. My name is Pez, and I'm a lead artist on a video game company in the US. And I've been working with AI, and I wanted to go back to that question.
Yeah,
Thank you,
okay,
Tim.
cool, yeah.
I wanted to know about your take regarding the using AI on the production line, because you were talking about that, and
Yeah.
I really respect your opinion regarding the ethical usage of the
Oh yeah,
AI.
I'm super keen on that.
Okay, I love that. But I've seen executives, I don't know, having a bit of issues regarding the limits of the usage of
Yeah,
AI.
yeah.
And I'm really worried about that. So I wanted to know more about your take on that, and also the guilds, the guild of Quebec take on that.
So I'm worried too, because it can save a lot of money. And executives, really high financier guys, women, whatever, they only see numbers. And at some point, some of them don't care about the ethics behind it. And that is dangerous territory, very dangerous. At Rogue Factor and also at Nacon, we are totally against using AI, LLMs in a final product. The only way that we might use AI in a final product is our own LLMs, that we generate stuff from our own artwork. So legally, it's the best. You have no problem, because don't forget, like if you use like AI that picks stuff like everywhere on the internet, there are potential legal problems. Disney is actually suing ChatGPT, I think, right now. There's a lot of big legal problem. So this is something that I'm trying to, stay away. That's my opinion. I am not against AI. I'm totally for AI if it gives me superpowers to be better and to do more creative stuff, but our own stuff. Like I call it like the first 2-3 bricks, and then I build the house on top of it. Okay, and I think it's the position of the guild as well. We really want to find the best way to use AI to boost the productivity and also to cut some costs, but we are really into the ethics as well. So we will have on November 11th, we have a show called MIGS, where we met 9 years ago, and we will have a panel on AI and what's the best practice and things like that. So yeah, it's a hot topic. We can't escape it. AI will be there forever, guys. Skynet is the next step. So yeah, it will be transformative. We just need to dance with it.
With the devil.
It's like dancing with the devil, a little bit like that, and we don't want it to take over. We always want to be, the one controlling things, and at least for now.
Vamos con la siguiente pregunta.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. So I was going to ask you to see what's your take regarding the UGC, like user generation content.
Yep.
Because right now we're seeing like companies like Roblox or Fortnite, they're doing this kind of experience, and right now Roblox is the company with more users right now.
Yep.
So I don't know if Rogue Factor have like, I don't know, maybe in the future are going to be entering this kind of business, because right now we're seeing that Battlefield 6 is going to do this too.
Yeah.
And Fortnite and Call of Duty. So what's your take on that?
So it's a very good business. I think it can be very lucrative for both parties. Like creators make money. Epic, I know a lot Fortnite, so I'm gonna give it as an example. Like everybody makes money on that. It takes a big platform. You cannot, the entry bar, like the entry level for a company to go in there is super hard. You need to have humongous infrastructure. It's insane what you need to, in terms of, to have a solid user-generated type of platform. So on my own account, I'm not heading there. Actually, I just want to make games for gamers, and I want to make games that I want to play and that
so
I like.
Premium games.
Yeah,
You're on the space
premium games, experience. You play it, you like it, you go play another game. That's my philosophy. I don't say that philosophy is wrong. I think people making games in Roblox, for instance, can make really cool stuff. But in the end, it will continue. It will grow as a market, I'm pretty sure. But on my own account, I'm not touching that.
Gracias. Vamos con la siguiente pregunta. Me parecen...
Here, right?
Allá va el micrófono.
You got it. Yeah, you want. I was like, she must tell her question because she's been around like, eh.
Ya, yo soy un poco tímida con el inglés, así que lo voy a hacer en español la pregunta. Mi pregunta va en, como vimos en el tráiler, supuse que están trabajando con una narrativa súper pesada. Entonces mi pregunta va a cómo gestionan o cómo trabajan con eso, porque muchas veces pasa que uno tiene estas grandes ideas de historia y que al momento de ejecutarlas, de repente hay algo que siente que pueden cambiar y que puede ser mejor. Entonces, como son un equipo bien grande...
It looks that the whole narrative for Helisas is really dark and deep and huge. How do you handle how to keep the pace of making the narrative? How do you build all the narrative? It's an iteration process. It's more like building up things.
Okay, so it's two processes in parallel. We have a very talented writer. He's amazing. He's been in the industry longer than me, and he will write I might say, like in a TV series manner, like episode by episode, how we would see the story. And this is, I call it the golden line. Mm-hmm. And I have narrative designers that are working on the other side in parallel. So you have a line like that, and you have lines like that. So they are building like side quests, secrets, and stuff, and they feed from that line, okay, the universe, the baseline, the world building, they feed from that. But also sometimes those lines is feeding the golden line as well, so it can evolve according to the narrative designers, the game designers. So it's two-track, two types of different writing that merge together.
And let's say you say we make a first pass, of this whole story or even the key pillars. When it is almost like the clay is like in the final phase, it's okay. This is it, we will not change that part of the story at all, period. It's something that it is something that it comes through time to time, or you have like this mentality that everything can rethink once again?
We try to keep things, especially for the main themes, we try not to move it. We try to have a fixed aim, at the horizon, and we know that's the point where we're going. We keep that. But anything, we can, surf around it. We can iterate around it. But the main points in the story or the main points in the actual world building, some of them are just, you cannot move them. Mm-hmm. So that's how you can make a great story. Otherwise, it would go like everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Vamos con otra pregunta. A ver. Estamos.
Yves, I wanted to ask you something, if you can share with the audience. You talk about, earlier you talked about the process of building an IP, or owning an IP.
Yes.
I came from the film industry, and maybe we did it wrongly, that we are really protective about the IP, no sharing with no one, but when you go to markets and you share your IP with potential buyers or whatever, you must tell it. So I wanted to ask you, how is the process or what do you need to have something like substantive to protect an IP? Like, I don't know the name of the game design document, whatever, but what do you need to protect? What are your thoughts about protecting IP or dealing with IP? And the other question was, how is the go-to-market strategy for a game when you were in Wicked Games, like a really
early
indie type of go-to-market strategy, and with Helisas, that is
completely different.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, IP is king. So if you create an IP that is potentially successful and it becomes successful, it's the most valuable thing you have in your company, period. So, but it's also the hardest thing to do. So it's always a gamble. Creating an IP is a big gamble. You don't know if it will work. So when you pitch to publishers, you need to do the legal work, like the NDAs. You need to protect yourself legally when you speak. What you share, Like it's all legal lingos. You need to have a lawyer on your team to do those pitches and to protect, so you won't have, for instance, a Chinese company that will copy it and release it like in 1 year because there are like 1,000 people working on it. That type of thing happen, you know? So you need to be super careful regarding that to protect it, I think. It's, you need to be very, very wary of like who you talk to. The seriousness of the parties that you show the game or show the pitch, basically. So you need to be very careful. And the other question, obviously it's super different. Like when I was starting, the go-to-market, the go-to-market solution was pretty much to put boxes on shelves of Walmart. It was like product placement, basically. It's there, people walk, they take the box, woo, that's a great game, they buy it because they like the cover, you know? That was my strategy back then. We had a little bit of marketing through websites or magazines, through the publisher that I had, but it was very basic, I might say, because at that time, a long time ago, not a lot of games. Like, when you put a game, you did all the ordeal to put a game on the retail market. It's already almost impossible to be successful doing that.
Yeah,
it's super hard. Yeah. So, but once you're there, it was super easy to sell the game because there's not a lot. Today, the opposite. The main problem that all of us developers have is discoverability. It's super hard to get your game discovered in a mass market. In like how many games on Steam now every year? It's like thousands and thousands and thousands. You need to get noticed. And how you do that? First of all, I think, you need to build up relationships with first parties. That's how we've done it. We have built relationship with the Sony portfolio team, and they really like the project. And how we got like the first big spike of popularity with Elizas was through the State of Play event. It's an event that occurs 2-3 times a year, and it's like almost millions of people are watching it. So if you can place your trailer there, that's going to be a big push. And once you have that first peak, you know, it can be like State of Play, it can be future game show. There's a lot of opportunities. Once you have that peak, it's easier to, piggyback on it. You raise awareness, and you will have more exposure, and it's exponential, basically. It's like stock market investment. Like your first $1,000, okay, and then whoop, it grow to $10,000, and once you have $100,000, it goes like whoo, you make a lot of money. It's a little bit like that with I think with the market exposure and how to reach players. Yeah. Pleasure.
Las preguntas por allá.
Hi.
Hello.
My question goes more about how's been your experience in Chile? Since you've talked with like a couple of developers there, what are your thoughts on their work, and if you have any expectations for our industry? What are your ideas for the Chilean industry?
Okay, that's a very good question. So first of all, I was here for 24 hours, and it's my first time. So every developer, except Max, I never met before. So I had a chat with a few developers, and I find it the energy is there, the enthusiasm is there. I love it. It's really good. But there are two things I might say. So I've known Max for 9 years. I saw he worked, Omen of Sorrow. We even tried to pitch a game to Games Workshop together. You remember that? Yeah. A fighting game. Sadly, it didn't work, but it was awesome. It was like really cool. And also with Ace Team. So Nacon is working with Ace Team for quite a long time. They did Clash with Nacon, Xenoclash, and also exactly Artifacts of Chaos, and now The Mound. So we have a really good relationship with that studio. So I met the owner at Gamescom actually last week, and I think they are pioneers. They've done a lot of good things for this country, I think, in video game. But from what I'm seeing right now and from what I heard, like, it's booming. You guys are like making it happen. I don't know to who I was telling that before today, but I saw a similar fashion in Eastern Europe, like in Poland, in the Eastern Europe. There was that flame, and there was a lot of cool developers emerging, and I kind of have that feeling for here. Like I think Chile is about to, it's about to do something really cool. So keep it up. Yeah, I think it's really nice.
Gracias. Tenemos más preguntas. Para allá, por favor.
Hi, I wanted to ask about if you have any kind of contingency plan for, I don't know, like when a big game like GTA 6 or something like that is announced on the same day, for example, as the launch of a game like yours.
Okay. Like if I have a plan, if something similar to what I'm doing is competing with my game, basically?
Yeah, for example.
For example, yeah. I don't think I have really a contingency plan. Like, I believe my game is different than pretty much everything on the market right now. So fingers crossed. We have, we've made a lot of market research. We know what we're doing. Like we've done a lot of playtesting. We have, Nacon see lots of pitches and stuff. So we're quite confident on that. Well, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, for sure, we don't know what's done in other countries and There's so many games right now, so it's very hard to know, like, hey, is there something exactly the same? You don't know. And it's a problem that we all have, pretty much.
Súper. Tenemos la última pregunta, pero que me parece que ella llevaba mucho rato con el bracito levantado, la chica del pelo rojo.
Hi. My question is more about music in games. What do you think about big companies about music or indie studies in music, and what are your favorite soundtracks in games, actually?
Nice. Yeah, as a musician, of course, like it's something very important for me. I think music is the invisible glue that makes a game great. Like, just try to play a game without music, there's something missing, like only sound effects, no music. It's something that drives emotion faster than actually graphics and stuff. Like I don't know. I listen to a video game soundtrack, and it brings memories so fast. Like favorite soundtrack, I don't know. Like I have so many, but I might say Final Fantasy VII, for instance. So good. Like I really like what he does. Nobuo Uematsu-san is amazing. Or like good old like Street of Rage, Yuzo-san made electronic music, like so good that like just listening to the song, I'm like, whoo, I'm having like those shivers. And yeah, it's so important. But yeah, favorite soundtrack, like actual project, like the last game that I really fell in love with the soundtrack was Nier Automata. I think it was like super good soundtrack, amazing. And recently, there's an artist that I really like, and he's a really good friend as well. It's called Olivier de Rivière. He's a very, very famous composer. Recently, he's done the music for South of Midnight, and he's done music for Dying Light. He made like crazy good soundtracks, and he does the music every time you research to have like a very specific feeling with instruments, working with like composers that are like in a very niche market, like very special textures and stuff. That's what I like. That's what I really enjoy. And yeah, I collect a lot of soundtrack, like from chiptune, like Street of Rage, whatever, Ninja Turtle, like T. Lopez is a very good friend of mine. He do like really nice old school 16-bit music. I love that. And I really like the big orchestra, Elden Ring, like with chores and everything. I love it. Nope. She's gone.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can. I can continue. Like we can continue. No, we cut. We're done. Okay. So maybe yeah, you have. Oh, maybe you're close. You're close.
What other games have you been playing lately?
What are the games?
Yeah, in context of Hell.
Okay, in context of Elizabeth, what are the games? You'll be next. That I played lately. Really recently, I played Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I'm almost at the end. I played Lies of P. I played Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade. All those games are for me games that inspire me, especially on the combat side. So it's working, but I also really like those kind of games. So these are games that I really enjoyed recently because of that. Okay. Okay, so for those who haven't heard, like what type of different or new skill set I would be looking for in making a game these days, pretty much, that are not traditional for the video game industry? That's a very good question. I think it's project dependent. Like, I have a friend that is doing a game that is occurring like in a specific era in Amsterdam. So he had to hire a historian, like a history specialist from Amsterdam, basically. So historians have been used many times in video game for like Assassin's Creed, for instance. Ubisoft hire historians all the time. But other types of talent, I think. Like at Rogue Factor, we hired like contemporary dancers to mocap, like to do like because our enemies, the way they move, they are doing like some super weird dance, and we hired an actual specialist to help us animate those creatures. But that's not really like a job; it's more like of a contract gig. I think I think some games might require like psychologists, like especially if you're making horror games, just to know where to go and to being coached on the limits of what's acceptable. One of my best friends in Montreal, Philippe Morin, is the owner of Red Barrels. They do the game called Outlast, and Outlast is very brutal. Like if you guys played Outlast Trials, it's insane. And it's really gory. But he had to have a consultant to say like, oh, this is maybe like too hard. Just go down a notch. Yeah, and I don't know, like it depends on the project. I guess many things are possible. No problem. Yeah. Yes, the November 11th, yeah.
So I was wondering if you guys offer financial aid in case you wanted to go.
It's
Obviously not paying for the ticket.
no, it's usually between how we build that is between organization basically. So we need to have the guild speak with your organization to establish like a trade mission. That's pretty much what you did when you came the first time, huh?
Yeah.
So, but this year, I think, I'm not sure, I don't think Chile is involved. I think we have like that type of thing with, I think we have Colombian trade mission, and we have like a few others, Japanese from Tokyo. But yeah, not as far as I know, not this year for the Chile, no, sadly. But next year I'm gonna try.
Yeah, me too. Hardly.
Yeah.
What about the trailers? Do you do the trailers for yourself?
If I what? If I release
The
it?
trailers?
Oh, the trailers. We do all the assets ourselves. I don't know if okay, we're good. Just yeah, we do all the assets, everything ourselves, but we use companies that can put together the realization of the trailer. Yeah, I think we're good, right?
Ah. Sí, bueno, tenemos el siguiente panel, que es en el otro escenario. Ah, ¿no se escucha? Oh, man.
You're dead.
Yeah, we're
So we're going to be doing a panel right there. So
yeah,
come over to that side. It's I will continue my rambling there.
Yeah, but yeah.
Thank you. Arr.